Right. We're live, guys. We're
Yay.
live. I'm going to start it off with asking how y'all are. I know we talked a little bit before stream. I know Ken and I did. And then Nox shared.
I feel like absolute garbage. Well, to be fair, it's gotten a bit better. But not by but one of those things where me and Mish really started feeling bad this morning right after breakfast. Just kind of not feeling bad, just not feeling well, and like just bad enough to be an inconvenience and to not want to fucking do anything. Excuse me. And I went through the day just kind of relaxed, sat around the house, and then about a couple hours ago, I started feeling better, but I had done nothing all day, so I'm super fucking tired. So while I don't feel nauseous anymore, I'm still exhausted because yay. And that is apparently a thing.
Sorry.
You didn't do it.
I think we've all been there at some point in time. Not, I've been doing okay. Just hadn't had the urge to get up and do anything, but I forced myself to get up and do things. So otherwise, I'm doing pretty good.
I've been exhausted most of this last week, but that is because due to false fall hitting up here, I am getting rain 2 to 3 times a week. And since I got to mow my acre and a half and then mow my uncle's yard because he's in his 60s and I'm not going to make him do that himself. Yeah. So I push mow most of an acre every week. And because of the rain and the way both these yards are soaking up water, it means every time I do it, it is just shy of a goddamn bush hog that I have to go through. So that usually wears me out, and it's also kept me out of my shop. But the good news is, I have gotten the metal rails that are going to be on the backside of my DM screen. Cut, drilled, primed, and painted and sealed, so that I will have metal rails in the back of mine I can stick magnets to, so that I can switch out what notes I actually have on the back of my DM screen.
Nice.
I've routed out a spot for the dry erase, but I've yet to cut the dry erase to size, so that I know how deep to cut it.
Mm-hmm.
A note on your grass cutting: raise that mower deck up as high as it'll go, and put you good sharpening on the blades, and you'll be surprised how much easier it is to cut.
It's not that it's necessarily hard to cut Canon. It's just I also, if I raise it up, I know I'm going to have to do 2 mows because I'm going to want to lower it back down to the level I want. But it's just one of those of, okay, well, Monday I have to mow, Tuesday I have to mow, Wednesday we got to go to therapy, Thursday I got a game, Friday I'm probably working a football game, and then the weekends, Emily works all weekend, so I got all the house stuff to do, and then it starts back with the mow. So it's kind of I have gotten some shop time recently. I'm going to have to start making more shop time for my own sanity here again soon. Also, the fact I need to make the Wheel of Misfortune for the Hot Wings challenge
Ah, yes. The glorious, glorious thing that is going to be amazing to witness.
I hate all of y'all because you're going to take joy in my pain.
I will, in fact, wholeheartedly.
Because let's be honest, the most spicy thing that Topher has is the bomb. And that is so many Scoville units above what I normally can handle that I know my luck is I get to bomb.
Well, your little tortilla challenge thing, if you let me bring my sheet of lead and do that prior to the hot sauce challenge, you won't have to worry about the hot sauce challenge because you'll be knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, we ain't going to do that. We're not cheating. The main thing is, like, what I've seen with the tortilla challenge is, like, no one actually really gets hurt. It's more or less you're trying to get them to spit the water out or laugh because of the silliness of you slapping each other with a tortilla. But I don't think we can actually do that on Twitch. I think that'll end up getting us in trouble because of, slapping somebody with a tortilla. I'll have to double check on that because LeBlanc's in if we do it. Because of course he is.
Yes.
Now, I got the quiver mailed off.
Nice.
I am waiting to hear back from its recipient to make sure he got it. So now I just have to also get off my butt and look at making a leather helmet. Because I have not sent another message back. I was told him, give me a little bit to figure out if I have one, enough leather, and two, if I actually can do the geometry right to fit. Because the problem with making a helmet custom order with somebody not here is dimensions of said face.
Yeah. That's going to be and face and circumference of head is going to be your biggest thing.
Well, luckily the head is about the same circumference as mine, but then there's also distance from forehead to nose ridge, width of the face, all those sort of things. There's a whole lot of there's a lot of questions here, and it's the only thing. Like, I'm a little iffy on it because I don't know if I can do the geometry for it. But I got the poster board, so I seriously need to at least try.
I mean, it's the only way you're going to figure it out is to fuck with it,
Yep. But again, I have to make time.
Just remember that when you bend leather, it shrinks in length.
I know that the measurements around the circumference of the head was about 24 inches. I know I need to go 26, 28 when I actually mold it.
Best thing to do is cut you a circle or an oval out of a chunk of wood that is the length of the circumference of the head, so that you've got a hard piece of something to mold around. You don't have to guess at that overall length.
I'm mostly going to be doing a lot of stitching. I'm not going to actually be doing molding. Is the
I'm not talking about molding. I'm talking about when you wrap it around to get your headband size. There's no guessing. You can wrap it around and it'll fit snug to the head if you do that.
it's going to be something I'm going to be working on for the next little bit. Again, I'm not going to lie. Like, at like midnight, or not midnight, but like after we get Vincent in bed, it's dark. My neighbors are asleep. I can't go into the shop and do much unless I'm sealing something. And right now I got nothing to seal.
Another option to make sure that it fits, go to Harbor Freight and get you a hard hat insert, the headband liner thing. You can connect it to the leather with 4 rivets, and you've got a dial on the back that'll adjust it to head size.
Yeah.
I am going to do that now. That is an awesome idea. Huh.
And you can change the headband out when it gets nasty.
That is happening.
Especially if you use like Chicago screws, you can just replace the whole goddamn thing if something happens. Because I mean, we all know how gear gets treated after a while. So the ability to replace the headband when it inevitably gets broken is going to be a thing.
It also leaves airspace in there that you could have air circulating around to help keep it cool.
Yep.
I'm gonna do that now. So that's that'll be on my list of places to go and things to do. But let's see, what have I done? I took the piece of spalted maple that we got up in Indiana, filled in the major cavities with epoxy resin. And I know most people want to get all the air bubbles out of them, but the way this one air bubbled and ended up being slightly cloudy looked really, really good compared to the darker sections of the wood. And right now, that is the place setting for her vase that's got all of her seasonal flowers for decorating in them. In the last month, I had to pick up a chair. And I am going to inherit its matching set because my uncle cannot return it because he bought it from Amazon, but it wasn't an Amazon. It was someone selling through Amazon, not Amazon itself. So that chair is going to end up over here in my den, or Kyle next door is going to wake up one day and find a chair in his living room.
I mean, what are next door neighbor friends for?
I randomly break into your house and leave you shit you did not expect and probably didn't want. Okay, so the chair is not a bad chair. It is bent plywood with a very nice stain with faux leather, because it's not actual leather, with a separate footrest. It is not uncomfortable once you get in it.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that once you get in it, it is about 3 inches lower than a normal chair. So for me, it is way too low because normal chairs also don't sit right for me normally. Like, whenever I made bog chairs, they're like, oh, you need to set it at 11 inches. And I'm sitting there like, I've been setting it at 14. 14 is comfortable, but then Emily sits in the one where I set it at and she's just staring at me and swinging her legs. But, so it's really, really low. And it doesn't, it's one of those that if it was about 2 inches shorter in the back, it would come to like mid shoulder blade and be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it had one more row on it, it would have a headrest. But it's one of those you sit in it, and where my shoulders fall on it, I want to lean my head back, and there is nothing to lean your head back on. So, I mean,
Yeah.
90% first world problems, but it means it's a chair that I never would have bought. And then getting out of the son of a bitch is extremely difficult. Now, Dewey, my son, and my mother absolutely love this chair because since they are short, and one is a tiny dog, the chair is the right height for all of them. So that is currently sitting in my living room, and my old leather recliner is now is out in my shop. So now I have a shop chair again.
Put a bicycle pump with an airbag underneath it. And you can pump your way out of it when you get ready to sit up.
Maybe it is definitely that is not the chair I'm going to sit in. I will either sit in my sofa or I will sit in my other chair. Also, let's see, the other big project I've done since the last time we talked is I have taken a can of whatever that roofing replacement for tar is. I ruined a shirt, but I have tarred over all the spots that were leaking. I am still waiting on an estimate from some roofers to see how much they will charge me to fix my roof or replace all the shingles versus how much it will cost me to do it. And unless the price is significant in price difference, I'm going to pay someone else to do it because I really don't want to roof my house. Roofing is one of those things that I know how to do. I wasn't terrible at it. I have absolutely no desire to ever do it again.
Yeah, it's one of those things of I know how to do it, which is why I know I don't want to.
Same thing with like digging septic tanks. I know how to do it. I don't want to do it again. Luckily, I don't have one here, but I've dug up more than one septic tank and had to install a new one. And that is, I know how to do it. I'd rather not do it again.
If you're quoted a price more than $75 a 100 square feet, then they have overcharged you.
We've got 2 calls in, and we just haven't heard back because roofing business in Monroe is good since the number of storms and a tornado a while back. So oh, and I got a $600 plumbing bill, but I learned exactly what's up with my plumbing. Everything does actually go to Lakeshore. It does not go back to McCain that's behind my neighbor's house. The random steel pipe or iron pipe that I found out in my yard probably goes to what used to be a septic tank before there was a sewer system out here. So somewhere in my yard is a buried septic tank. It will stay buried. But
how big is the steel pipe?
when I found it a while back when I was digging the post holes for the garden, probably 4-inch.
It very well could be, or it's a sewer line that goes to a sewage system.
It might be, but of course, when I had to have the plumbers come out, it was 15 minutes after closing time by the time they made it to me from their previous job, so I got charged a after-hours fee. But I will say what I've said many times before. I have never handed money to a plumber and been mad. Because I went from not having toilets in my house to having functioning toilets in my house. I'm good. Eventually, I will more than likely need to replace the main line that runs from the house to the street. But there's also a good chance that the city needs to replace their sewer pipe under the street. Because there's a good chance what's causing a problem for me, Kyle next door, and my neighbors on the other side is that there is a blockage or a collapsed pipe for the main sewer line, or a partially collapsed pipe. Because whenever we get a super heavy rainfall in this neighborhood, multiple people can't flush the toilets. But that's also asking the parish to do something. We all know how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a health issue if it's one of their lines collapsed or clogged up. That's a health issue.
Oh, I know. But down the street, near the church that's on the same road I'm on, there has been water running out of a crack in the road to a storm drain for 2 weeks. Multiple people have called because it's like, this seems to be a water line that's cracked. So the parish's solution was come out, mark it with orange, and then when that all got washed off, they came out finally and put a little cone over it and a barricade around it. And now there's a 2-foot wide depression in the asphalt. And I'm like, yeah, this tracks. We're just gonna we're gonna do this. This is on the this is not above a 7 yet, so we're gonna deal with everything in the parish that's above a 7, which is namely they built an entire neighborhood in a slough out off Fairbanks Highway, and then when we got rain for 2 weeks straight, all the $300,000 houses flooded, pump station they put out there sank, and a sewer line had some liquefaction happen around it, and so that collapsed. So they built on marginal land, and the infrastructure failed because said marginal land was marginal. And the response was, we did not foresee this being a problem. And my first thought was hearing Kyle, well, goddamn, boy, you in a swamp? I'm sorry, Kyle, like that was my first thought.
What the shit did you expect was going to happen, partner?
Nox, your voice has become the "Are you shitting me" voice in my head sometimes, because I feel like the only way that the amount of disgruntled that I experience can be said through broken, badly used Cajun French on top of just aggravation.
Yeah, I will allow it.
I've also had to stop myself from saying what the shit is wrong with you a lot this week. Because last thing I'll say about work is that we had to move our football game to Saturday because apparently in Louisiana right now we have a shortage of referees. We have a shortage of referees. So they moved our game to Saturday because they didn't have enough to cover all three high schools in city having a game. And when I found out the reason they didn't have enough, or that we didn't have enough referees, and that one of our assistant coaches said, "Well, fine, we'll just reschedule." It's like, well, we can't reschedule. If y'all don't move your game to Saturday, you forfeit because you couldn't get referees for your team. I'm like, and that was the LHSAA saying that to one of our assistant coaches, and I'm like, my first thought was, what the shit is wrong with you? You know the state got, if you know that there's a referee shortage, you don't make a team forfeit because they can't get referees during the referee shortage. The shit is wrong with you. They've also moved one of our high schools up into 5A, which is no longer 5A. It is just District 5. So they've moved a whole bunch of the higher performing 4A schools around the state into 5A, which means you're about to see a whole lot of pissed off parents because teams that had been winning championships in 4A are about to get their asses whooped in 5.
Mm-hmm.
Because you put in a school that has less than 900 kids up against, say, like John Curtis, which I believe has a student body close to 3. So I don't know. That's I've dealt with the stupid this week, and my solution has been play Valheim and Pokemon Go. I've killed so many trolls on Valheim because it is healthier than taking my aggravation out on other people.
Yeah, I mean that tracks. I've just been trying to make it. It's been it's kind of a shit week, just kind of in general. So I just try to make it through, and then everything seemed to be fine until today, and then everything kind of went to shit, pretty literally. So I don't know.
It doesn't help that right now for me is the lean period because I'm still waiting on reimbursements from my district, but they don't have the money from the state yet to do reimbursements.
Yeah.
But positive note stuff. My kid got like all A's this week at school. And apparently no one decided to tell his Miss Lawson, his main teacher, that he wasn't listening at recess when it was time to line up because fuck that, I want to play on monkey bars and swings. 8-year-old logic. So she found out and then told us, and my first response is, I'm not super mad at him because, he's 8. He's 8 and there's stuff to play on. I can only be so mad at him, be like, hey, you gotta listen to your teacher's kid. Just like stop that. But I was like, it took y'all a whole week to tell me this? I could have handled this on Monday. You wouldn't have had a problem on Tuesday. Well, he is just a little unruly. I'm like, you have not dealt with that many 8-year-olds, have you? I'll let you meet some unruly children. I teach them. My child is obstinate, which, to be fair, y'all know me. He gets that honest.
Yeah, he does.
Because one of the things they told us was, we told him to come in, and he said, but no, though. I cannot see the flaw in the logic. Oh, actual really super positive thing. They have Biscoff cookie bar ice cream at Sam's Club. It's ice cream dipped in chocolate, dipped in caramel, dipped in chocolate with Biscoff cookie butter and spread stuff in it. It is terrible for you, but it is delicious.
That sounds interesting.
They also have Oreo ice cream bars that you would think would be, oh, here's chocolate with Oreos. No, when you eat it, it tastes like you're eating an Oreo cookie. I may or may not have used money to buy ice cream to use it to make me feel better over some rougher times in the last month. Because I am a fat kid.
Hey, do you, kid?
Hey, look, all I'm saying is, you want something that makes you feel a little bit better and kills some of the grumps, and you're looking at a $20 bottle of whiskey or a $10 box full of ice cream cookie bars. I'm going to take the ice cream cookie bars mostly because they're cheaper, but also they're really good. And nobody looks at you funny when you're eating an ice cream bar in your front yard while mowing at, 8 in the morning. If you had an old fashioned in your hand while you're mowing the yard in the morning, somebody might ask you why you think it's the 1950s.
Oh, because it tastes good. And
mind your own damn business.
and I'm an adult.
Oh. I need to tell you, you never call me back, Nox, and Cannon, you're gonna laugh at this.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry.
So it was at Walmart, and the Walmart, the Walmart neighborhood market that's over here near my new house, like almost all the employees are some of my former students or related to my former students. So it is like, I like going in hi, Mr. Hall. Like, This is awesome. So I'm walking out, and there's a dude getting arrested in the parking lot. And he is yelling. He's yelling at the officer, going, "Come on, man! We went to school together. You can't arrest me. We graduated together, man. We grew up together." And I'm sitting there like, "Oh shit!" And then all of a sudden he turns, "Oh hey, Mr. Hall!" And then the cop turns, "Oh hey, Mr. Hall!" And I'm like, "Oh God." Dude, why are you stealing? I wasn't stealing. Dude, were you? All right, I took. Oh shit. Because he forgot he was in front of the damn cop for a second. I'm just like, this is my life right now. Is I walk by that moment and they both take time to say hey to me. Hey, at least I left a positive impact on somebody.
Sometimes it's all you can ask for.
But did y'all read what happened to Emily with Vincent at Walmart?
Yes, nut sauce.
Yeah. For the gentle viewers and listeners out there, my wife was buying pine nuts to make pesto. And my son was trying to be helpful, bless his heart. And he said, Where were you looking for? I was like, I need to get nuts so I can make a sauce. But I can't find. So peanuts? No, you don't need peanuts. Okay. So then she finally finds them and Vincent. So now can you make your nut sauce? And the kid stocking the shelves almost fell off the ladder. So Vincent was somebody else's not real people story. I would have just started laughing in the aisle immediately. See, and at this point, I would usually torture y'all with Verbo, but we have already defeated Verbo by, finding actual rustic on Verbo. So we will have to figure out another bit for that. Maybe Cannon or Kyle, y'all could find something that we can all stare at to be aggravated.
Yeah, well, I think we'd probably be able to figure something out. I mean, we could open it. we could. There's always Etsy.
Oh, you've now opened that Pandora's box of evil.
That is, in fact, a thing.
The only problem I have, if we went to Etsy and we wanted to talk about something bad someone did, I feel like it'd be slightly mean, to insult somebody's level of stuff, because at least they had the gumption to make it and then try to sell it to people.
Yeah.
And if it's bad, that's on you.
Yeah, but I mean, there's also the whole thing of, if it's like that bed with the bench in the front of it. I mean, come on, man. 10 minutes and you could have been in 10 minutes and that thing would have been a whole lot better. That kind of stuff. Excuse me. So, something that I've been kind of messing around with and getting back into is making jewelry. And
Stop dying.
I'm trying. Give me a minute. But yeah, it's, getting back into making jewelry, and whew, I took a drink of water and decided it wanted to go down. It wanted to take a tour of the lungs.
It decided to murder you.
Yeah, pretty much. So I've done a little bit of jewelry stuff before, and I always felt like I was kind of I was pretty much garbage at it, because a lot of the other stuff woodworking and leatherworking and mini painting and stuff, and even DMing, there's a pretty steep learning curve, and you gotta put some effort into it to be able to get decent. So I would sit down, I'd make something, and I'd tear it apart. And it's not good. That was, and in the back of my head, it was always, it's too easy. It's not right. It can't be right. It was too easy. And you go to, you go to some high-end jewelry stores, and you look at earrings and stuff that are not like stone settings, stuff like that, and you realize, no, it's literally that easy. It's literally put three beads on a wire, twist the top, twist the bottom, put a an ear loop, an earring head in it, and yeah, you're done. So
Well,
started messing around with that. Pulled out my old jewelry stuff, and I've gone back into. I'm just gonna start taking everything that I can apart and using random pieces for that kind of stuff, for jewelry, for earrings and charms and necklaces and bracelets and stuff like that.
you mentioned before, Cannon, that you were hauling in gravel, right?
Yep, I did.
Where's that going?
In my driveway and on my road up to the house site.
Getting everything ready for the next stage.
So I have last weekend, I want to say, we kind of getting stuff put away for in preparation for the move and stuff like that. And we're going through some some older video games, like some PS3, some PS2, PS3, hell, some PS1 games, and a handful of Xbox 360 games. I have no idea where the rest of my Xbox 360 games went, but and pulled out one, and it's a game called Two Worlds 2. I'm like, man, Two Worlds. I remember me and Ricky used to play the ever-loving hell out of that game. Like we put some serious time in it. It came out right about the same time as Oblivion, as Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. And it's like, dude, I remember me and Ricky, we put months into that game. I picked the open up Steam, look at it, to check Steam. Well, Steam had Two Worlds 1 for $10. I was like, all right, that's not terrible. But you couldn't find just Two Worlds 2. Apparently, Two Worlds 2 is the developmental cycle like ended. They stopped making DLC for it. Like, I don't know, last November, the last DLC came out for it. And I mean, this game came out in like 2017, 2016, 2017. And it's just kept being supported. So it's like, I wonder. So I started looking online. Come to find out, I ended up at G2A and bought the Steam codes for both 1 and 2 for like $1.33. So I have been knee deep in nostalgia of this game was pretty dope for the last week and a half.
Nice. Also, I lied. I found something. I'm not gonna post it up on. I'm not gonna put the screen up for folks to watch, but in Craft Talk, guys, I'm sharing a Verbo link.
Oh Lord, what did you do now?
Oh, it's a thing. Because I was trying to search Airbnb horror stories, and this is one of the things that popped up.
Well, your first problem.
You know what? Hold on. Give me a second. I am actually going to share this on stream. Because picture one is a doozy. Do you see it, Cannon?
Not yet.
Okay, I did posted a link up in Craft. I'm going to crop out some things. There we go. So I got this up now. So Nox, what's the first thing you got to say about this image?
We kind of flip it through.
I'm just talking about image one.
Image one is I have seen worse.
I have as well, but
it's almost 6 foot
off the ground.
Off the ground. They got a slab underneath, which is probably where the trailer was originally.
Yeah, they got half a slab underneath.
Well, like I said, 9 times out of 10, that's where the trailer was originally.
Is it popping up? Is it popping up for you now, Cannon?
It's coming up.
I'm looking at that handrail. That's the first thing that really caught my attention on this was the handrail.
You mean the hand array? Because that it ain't finished.
No, half of it fell off. OFFT offed. And then the next thing I noticed was the regular everyday interior brackets used to hold up the air conditioner in that one window.
The little L brackets.
Yeah, the regular everyday L bracket. Which, I'm not hating on that because they figured it out. Oh,
hang on a second.
And now I notice that there's a whole swing underneath there.
Yeah, a whole swing and a real nice smoker barbecue pit. Hey, is that? No.
That's a big ass propane ball.
No, that's not what I'm looking for.
Is that a fridge? Is that a fridge?
Yeah, more than likely. Beer fridge. So I would like to draw attention to the left side of the screen.
The boat? Oh, is that ladder holding up part of the shit?
No, that ladder is there because they are at the time that this picture was taken, they were installing the air conditioning unit on the trailer at the end of the trailer. That's a Kubota front end loader bucket that is currently holding up the air conditioner. For those who don't know, welcome to Calcasieu Parish, baby. And that is 100% Kubota orange.
You're not wrong. So, I mean, what we're looking at here is someone took the single wide, elevated it, and had a bump out.
And it's got a piranha cutting bar on that box on the blade too.
Yep.
Where are you talking? What you talking about?
The teeth on the bucket.
Oh.
The little knob at the corner. It's got the small sharp teeth for brush and for clearing brush. Now I will say this. This is a trailer home that is 6 feet off the ground. Like I said, I have seen worse. I mean those posts. There's a post every 6 foot square around that under that entire thing. That thing ain't going nowhere.
That's about 2-inch diameter pipe too, isn't it? Maybe 3.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 2 7/8 drill stem.
That's exactly what it is because that's exactly what people use to do that shit. Somebody knows somebody that's got a whole bunch of old drill pipe. So that's what they use. I mean, that shit's 1/4 inch thick. That thing ain't going nowhere.
Hey, as bad as it is that I might have reopened the Pandora's box of bad verbo. Nox, you do sound happier and sound a little bit better talking about this now.
Well, I mean, let's face it. This is right up our alley. This is, hey, we're just gonna nail and screw a bunch of shit together. It's like, you know what we need? You know what this trailer needs?
A lift kit.
Another trailer. Let's build it.
All right,
let's make this into a double wide.
All right, now I've moved on to picture 2, and I will say something that I know a lot of people in home decor preach against. I don't actually hate faux wood paneling like this. Like, it's a little bit nostalgia for me growing up in the the late 80s and 90s where this shit was everywhere. Like, it was in everybody's house when I was growing up.
I mean, as long as you don't look at the ceiling, you're fine.
That oh shit, that ceiling is what is
Warped.
well, yeah, it's warped. I'm just they cut out part of the decorative bracing so they could put the halogen bulbs in. Dude, I
Oh,
love
yeah.
this is you know what, this might not be rustic, but it's definitely DIY. And also I like the we're just gonna leave you this complimentary surge protector on the love seat.
Just in case you need it, in case you need it for like your phone, if you got a jam box you want to listen to, put some Wayne Tube CDs on there.
Also,
Listen to Fish Out of Water.
looking at where that chair is like right next to the door, which my wife didn't really stop and think about, but like me growing up, there was always like a chair near one of the doors, so like somebody could or a window, so literally someone could just lean back in the chair, look out, and figure out if they're going to open the door or not.
Mm-hmm. And then right here, bottom right, that you got Papa's chair. That
The one with the
you don't
blankets, the one I was
the
talking
one,
about.
well yeah, you gotta have that right there so that you gotta have, and the blankets gotta stay. Don't take that blanket off that chair, ball. That way all I gotta do is reach behind me and grab it and throw it out and kick my feet up in the Chase Lounge and take my nap. Man, take my daily nap.
All right, now moving on to picture number 3. I will say this is a camp that has been turned into somebody's Airbnb.
Oh no. You had it, or you had it right in the first half. This is a camp.
The wallpaper in this room is that wallpaper's been there a minute.
That's not wallpaper, dude. That's paneling.
Wait, is that paneling?
That is decorative
Oh,
paneling.
oh shit, yeah, that is. Also, yeah, there's a faceplate over that outlet. What did they use on this ceiling? Is that shower board?
Probably. And one, and what is that, probably 1x2 pine.
Looks like it.
And this is and you can tell this is in the addition because of the slope roof.
Yep. At least there's a good side. That is not a small potty. Then
No.
there's the dock. There's a Smoky Joe.
Hey, you got
two boats.
You got your own landing, private landing. How much is that a month? $200 a night with your own private landing and your own private dock. Cho!
The boats are not included though. That's just eye candy to put out there in front of it.
But no, you bring your boat or you borrow your partner's boat.
They got the water hose wheel inside the boat.
Well, yeah, that's so nobody takes that.
Okay, looks like it's got a decent lot of land, and it's got a disher. Okay, the linoleum flooring.
That parkour looking,
That herringbone pattern.
the herringbone vinyl, yeah.
Also, I'm going to say this: that washer and dryer are so old that they will never break.
Correct. Now, however, I want you to take a look. I want you to look at that stove and tell me if you see what I'm seeing.
Okay, the stove in number 9.
Yes. Like the fact that the left side of that stove is higher than the right side of that stove.
Yeah, there's a sag.
Oh, Lord.
And they left, to be fair, they left out a cereal bowl next to the sink.
They did, in fact. Now you can put the top on that and put that in the refrigerator for later, because you're not wasting You're not wasting my goddamn cereal. Hot. Damn, we got the Spider-Man day bed. We going to town now, partner.
The hallway room. Oh, it
Right.
connects back to the addition with the paneling. What do you think so far, Cannon?
I think it's straight out of the 1960s and 70s.
Well, the trailer is about a 75, 76.
I'm
I
looking
can
at
tell you
this.
that. I can tell you that for a fact because my sister used to live in one.
I'm looking at this maroon carpet,
Mm-hmm.
and that is familiar. But then you got the bunk beds at the single double. And if you look over in the top right, you got the cable box, but there is also a game console. Oh god, the stucco, the popcorn ceilings.
Oh yeah, with well, no, that's not. Those are panels because those are the flower the flower covers for the or bushings for the nails or the screws that hold them up there. So
And
that's
then
all. That's all panels.
And then you got the original bathroom on number 12. And I immediately hate the toilet.
Yep.
I immediately hate the toilet.
I'm looking at this trailer. Is probably a similar floor plan. It looks like it might be a similar floor plan to the. I think my uncle, my sister had a floor plan similar to this.
The original living room got a bunk bed in it.
Yeah.
Got the rug on the carpet covering the bad stain.
Well, that's where you put your shoes, Bo.
All right, and that's pretty much all the pictures. But I don't hate it, but I can go ahead and say one thing with 100% assurity. I know how that thing smells. And
it's gonna smell like construction adhesive for at least another 2-3 weeks with that brand new linoleum in there.
No, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. All the old furniture. It's like okay. The only thing I can say is like the smell of my grandparents' camp. A house that has not been lived in that much recently, with all the old furniture. There is just a smell. It's not a bad smell. It's not a good smell, but it's definitely nostalgia for me.
But looking back at number 6, there's I think that there's a plenty enough gap between them posts and that trailer. You could put your little half wraparound porch, and we get like Destrehan fancy.
But yeah,
the trailer got a wraparound porch.
Yeah, so that was what somebody posted up, or that's what popped up when I typed in Airbnb horror stories. Was that one? And I'm like, I don't know why you're mad though. That's just a camp.
Yeah, and I mean my family has stayed in things like that because I mean, let's see, going through, so you got
What
the couch.
apparently my wife just told my child to go to sleep through the wall because he is once more trying to sneak toys and books into his bed.
6, 7.
That's a nice ass camp.
8, 9, 10.
Was that Mish?
Yeah. So here's the thing. This thing sleeps 10.
I'm going to go ahead and say this. Mish just found the title for this episode of Kitchen Tables. That's a nice ass camp.
That's a nice ass camp. This thing sleeps 10.
Okay, let's
This
put that
would be
let's put that into terms for our circle of folks.
No, 'cause I'm getting there. So this thing sleeps 10 in the pictures. You have the love seat the love seat in the living room. You've got what's probably either a full or a queen in the decorative panel room. You've got the Spider-Man daybed in between the sections. You got the full twin bunk bed in the bedroom, so that's another 3. You got another full twin bunk bed in the old living room, that's another 3. So that sleeps 9 people. And that's before you bring in air mattresses. You can fit an air mattress in the living room. You can fit an air mattress on the floor in that I guess the new master. So that's 4. So that brings you up to 14.
Let me just fix your counting. That's 2 16-foot wide mobile homes, probably 70, 72 feet long. It says it sleeps 10. We can put 75 in it.
I mean, more than likely. I mean, everybody. You only need
Question
like
is,
2 foot.
well, if
2
we
foot
did that
apart.
though, if we did that, would we mess with the structural integrity?
16.
And we can put another 75 underneath it on the concrete and the gravel drive.
So I can. So just flipping through the pictures, comfortably on air mattresses and not having LeBlanc sleeping under the sink or on the table. I could fit about 20 people sleeping in this thing comfortably, like not crammed, only slightly crammed.
If LeBlanc is considered in this, you got to remember this is a camp. LeBlanc got to sleep outside because he's gonna puke in it somewhere.
Oh, and that's not counting the fact that we set up the wall tent on the outside. Now sleep another 6.
Or if you just hung canvas off the bottom.
I mean, if you go to picture 7, that's a lot of space.
That's true.
So, but like growing up, my like my extended family would go. A lot of times we'd go to Holly Beach or Grand Isle or some place like that. And we would essentially we'd rent 2 of these. Hell, there was a good 5 years running that we would go there was a houseboat. I can't remember where the hell it was. There was a houseboat that we would go to, and we would rent out, and it would sleep everybody. And that's my mom, my dad, my sister, me. It's about to get kind of Cajun in here. Orange, Charlene, Jared, Jamin, Sarah, Josie, Randy, BJ, Mary Lou. No, it wouldn't. That was before Lester. So that's 13, 14 people. And then usually my sister would bring a friend, or I would bring a friend, or there would be another my uncle Andy, his girlfriend Robin at the time, and T Frank. No joke, I do know a T Frank. They would come. So that's 16 people. And that's where we would like for that we would get like 2 of these. Or the the adults would get the beds and the kids all slept on the floor. And I mean they look just like this. And I tell you what, that's some of the most fun we've ever had. Now, here's the thing: you rent something like this. You only going inside to use the bathroom and go to sleep. If you want to know where you're gonna spend 99% of your time, if you are not if you're not in picture 4 fishing off the docks or out on a boat fishing, picture 1, partner. You are underneath on the patio, and they either barbecuing or they're frying fish and they're drinking beer and listening to music and cutting up and having a good time. See, that's why something like this don't bother me, because this is how I grew up going on vacation. This is where we would do summer vacations, and you very rarely spent time inside. You were always outside. You would be across the street fishing, or you'd be sitting underneath with the adults while they fried fish and cooked and drank beer and listened to the radio and cut up and told stories and everything else. There's a lot of what Willie has become that came from places like this. Only problem is this thing's in Catahoula. I'm sorry, Catahoula Parish. Let's see.
That's a shit. That's right over there by Natchez.
Yeah.
Oh, Sicily Island. No. Yep, that tracks. Down here, there's a nice oxbow lake.
I'm on the map too. Oh, that's why. That's on. Okay, that explains. That's why. That's was fucking Lardo.
Oh, I remember one time. Might be one of the last things I can say before we have to sign off, because it's 9:30. But back in college, I had my roommate Dale, and his family's from here, but he's not. He grew up in Washington, and that's only about 3 hours from me.
It's about 45 minutes to an hour north of me.
That's not quite that. I mean, back roads it might be, because I ain't going to speed through Gina or Jonesville.
You don't speed, and you don't speed through Washington either.
You also don't speed through Allah. Anyway,
we found that out the hard way.
But so Dale would, on Friday nights when we were in college, and gasoline was still like $1 something, we would fill up his car and we would just drive through Louisiana. And when we got down, we got lost down there around Harrisonburg, between that and Sicily Island, because he was using a GPS, and it decided to forget it existed for a few minutes. And we were just driving, and it told him to turn down a dirt road. And he turned down a dirt road, and I'm like, hey, man, don't do it. Dude, don't do it. And we ended up driving probably about 15, 20 minutes down there, until we found a burned out trailer that had a tractor crashed into a tree. And he's like, what happened here? He's like, turn around before they come out the woods and get you too.
Yeah, we actually we used to hunt around about the area that where that place is. As we used to hunt up there, between Faraday and Jonesville.
Oh, Faraday. I got dropped off there to put out signs for a political campaign one time, and that is the only time I've stared down the barrel of a gun.
Yep. That tracks.
So, let's see, videos that I've been watching for recommendations. I've mostly been watching the Hoof GP. So, and ferrying videos again because they're kind of my decompress. Don't think about anything, just watch it happen videos. But I've also found, and I can't remember the name of the channel, there is a guy who does Dollar Tree challenges to build miniatures for D&D. And right now I have some bits and pieces to turn a Final Faction Brute into a Pit Fiend because it's actually the right scale for size to a traditional
Nice.
mini. Also, fun fact, Nox, if you need it for your table, if you go to Dollar Tree, they have 6 packs of tall fluted shot glasses that when you stick a standard mini on top of them, they fit into the base. Or you can fill up the bottom because they have like a 1/4 of an inch indent on the bottom. You can fill that with hot glue, and then you have a slightly larger than 1 inch base, and you can use that for fly stands for miniatures. You'll just have to remember how high they're actually up, but you do have a representation that they're flying.
Neat.
So the other thing is Dollar Tree started carrying Ferrero Rocher. So
nice.
yeah, that's the big thing I've been watching is people going to like Dollar Tree and kit bashing D&D stuff, especially now that spoopy season has begun.
Yeah, you'll definitely find better shit current right now than you will other times of the year.
But yeah, so that and like the Hoof GP and other ferrying videos, that's pretty much what I've been watching on YouTube.
I just got caught up with my self-reliance, Sean James. So he just finished hanging the cross beam and the posts on his porch, putting in the windows on the new cabin.
Oh, he mudded the floor so he could do the fire.
Yeah, the ceramic tiles for under his wood stove.
I watched his other channel. He talked about how he's going to add another section to the back of the house. That's
master bedroom.
Master bedroom, and he's going to actually have some form of washroom.
Yeah. He actually closed the video that I watched. He put out a couple of days Friday. He actually put up he put in a temporary, basically put a temporary wall up in the door that's going to lead to the bedroom, and put a window in that just for now, so that he can. And he's like, I may just leave it closed until I get the whole bedroom enclosed. And once the bedroom's enclosed and kind of cleaned up, then I'll take it out and probably use that window in the bedroom.
Is he going to do more traditional framing there, or is he going to get more logs?
He's probably going to get more logs. It probably won't be till at least next year before he starts on that. But one of the things that I'm wondering if because his daughter has a YouTube channel now where her and her boyfriend, I believe, are doing a tiny house. I think their tiny house is on the land.
I think it is too. I've watched a couple of her videos because she and her dad were putting in the shower.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she's out on the property as well now. once he gets the cabin built up, I believe his wife is going to be going back out there with him. And then apparently his other daughter as well is, I believe, is planning on kind of doing her thing up there as well, whether it's a cabin or a small house or a tiny house or some combination of the three. But I think he's planning on actually having the whole family out there. But then again, I think if I'm not mistaken, the youngest one's in college.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Have you watched anything interesting, Cannon?
Main thing I've been watching is how to spot weld lithium ion batteries, how to smooth and level gravel the right way on your road, and sawmilling.
Are you looking at doing the chainsaw mill?
I've got a bandsaw mill.
Nice.
Yeah, that's something else that may be one of the two next big things that I want is a drill press, even if it's a rig, a conversion rig, uh, and I need a bandsaw. It's the job site saw that I have is too much. It's too much of a kind of a pain to.
It's so much sanding and leveling once you rip down a board.
Yeah, just that 1 degree that it's off from plumb zero is enough to be frustrating to deal with afterwards. So I need a bandsaw so that I can get an edge flat and then just cut my dimensional lumber that way.
All right, gentlemen. I've missed talking to y'all.
Yep.
Oh, looking forward to. Is both of y'all looking at coming for November?
Yep.
I'm not 100% sure yet, but I would like to.
Awesome. Well, we did all the social stuff before. We did all the schedule stuff before. So, Nox, since you're actually here,
We appreciate y'all hanging out with us this evening. Hope you get at least a little bit entertaining, if not informative. And until next time, folks, don't let your meatloaf